Hi everyone, welcome to our Starshine Yoga and Mindfulness virtual session. I hope you're well. I hope you've been enjoying the lovely sunshine that we've been having last week. Hopefully you got outside to do some yoga and mindfulness in the shade because it was so hot. Some of our teachers, we've been practicing our yoga and mindfulness outside in our gardens and in the parks. So I hope that you've stayed safe in the sun and that you're ready for this week's session. Now what you'll need this week are a few things. You'll need something like a rubber duck, because we're going to be playing our balancing ducks game. So you'll need an object that you can balance on different parts of your body. So it might not be a rubber duck, but something small and flat. You'll also need some colouring pencils and a colouring book or a colouring sheet, because we're going to be finishing with some mindful colouring at the end of today's session. So remember last time we did this, I printed off a colouring sheet from the internet. So don't worry if you don't have a book, because you can find colouring sheets on the internet, or you can just colour on a plain piece of paper that you've got at home. And then optional this week is a balloon. You don't need a balloon, but I'm going to be using it in our breathing, but you can pretend that you've got one, okay? So this is optional. If you've got a balloon, then you might be able to have some fun with it in our breathing activity, but don't worry if you don't have a balloon at home. Okay, when you're ready, come on down to your mat or wherever you're practicing your yoga and mindfulness this week. And we're going to start with that balloon breath. So with our balloon breath, we're imagining that we're blowing up a balloon, a really big balloon. So we take a big deep breath in through our nose. And then as we breathe out through our mouth, we imagine that balloon expanding. Okay, so we're going to do 5 balloon breaths. Okay, so big deep breath in and out. Okay, so something like that. So don't worry if you don't have a balloon at home. Okay, you're imagining that balloon expanding, okay, and getting bigger and bigger. Ready? Big deep breath in. Okay, hopefully you can get your balloon even bigger with each breath. Okay, ready? Big deep breath in. Okay, ready? 2 more balloon breaths. Big deep breath in. Maybe it's slightly bigger than my last one. And last one, ready? Last balloon breath. Imagine that balloon as big as you can make it now. Ready? Big deep breath in. Okay. Right, we're going to move on to our sun sequence warm-up. So you need to be stood up now, ready to start moving your body, ready in that stick position. Okay, and we're just going to do our my turn. I'm going to lead it this week. My turn, your turn at home. Okay? Stick. Hands. Reach to the sun. Elephant, 1, 2, 3. Ball. Curly whirly 1. Curly whirly 2. Curly whirly 3. Curly whirly 4. Stick. Good job, fantastic, well done guys. Okay, so to start this week, I want to see if you can remember those new poses that we started last week. So first of all, can you show me, we're going to start with our twisted dragon. Twisted dragon. So I'm going to let you have a go first. Can you remember the difference between dragon and twisted dragon? Good, that's right. So we've got one leg out in front of us, one knee out in front of us, and we bring our opposite hand next to that foot, and we reach up, and we try and turn our head to look at those fingertips reaching up towards the ceiling, holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to go straight into our other side. So change your knee, change your hand, other arm comes up towards the ceiling, holding it here, looking up if you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good, and relax. Don't worry if you can't turn to look up at your hand, it's fine to be here balancing. Okay. Can you show me our plank pose that we introduced last week? Our plank pose. Good. So hopefully you remembered that plank pose, you're on your knee, your toes, and your elbows. Good. And try not to drop your bottom, but try not to be too high in the air. We're trying to draw a straight line with our backs, holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Excellent. Okay, this time, can you show me that boat pose? And I'm going to say first, show me level 1. Level 1 of boat pose. Good, so remember, hopefully you've given your knees a hug, you're leaning back, arms come up straight, and for level 1 our knees are bent. Good, so looking at those toes, holding it here, and relax. But this time we're going to go straight into level 2. Okay, so remember, hug those knees, lean back, arms come up, but this time our legs are straight. Good. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Excellent. Well done, guys. Now, when you do those tricky poses, those more challenging ones, like boat level 2, I'm hoping that you're not holding your breath, because sometimes it's easy and it feels like you should hold your breath. But actually, remember how important our breath is in yoga and how important it is to keep breathing in and out through those yoga poses. So make sure you don't hold your breath, make sure you keep breathing. Okay, this time, can you show me at home bridge pose? Can you remember our bridge pose? Good, so hopefully you're lying down on your backs, knees bent, arms by your side, and hopefully now you're pushing up that bottom and those hips and holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. And lastly, I'd like you to show me dragon pose. Dragon pose, so not twisting dragon, but normal regular dragon. Good, excellent. Holding it here. Keeping really still and stable, looking ahead. Arms straight, fingers pointed. Change sides, you can keep your arms there, but change your knee. Good. Fantastic. Well done, guys. Okay, now, this is where you need your ducks or whatever your object is that you're going to be using for our game this week, because we're going to be working hard on our balance. So we're playing that game Balancing Ducks. So I'm going to ask you to put your duck on a part of your body for each of those poses that we've just done. And I want you to see if you can hold the pose without your object falling off. So this is about being stable, strong, still, with those balances. Okay, so we're going to start with our plank pose. So for plank pose, I want you to see if you can put your duck or your object onto your back. And I want you to see if you can hold plank pose without your object falling off. Good, so holding it here now for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, don't drop, 2, 1, and relax down. Excellent, well done guys. So hopefully your object stayed in that position on your back. Okay, next, I'd like you to balance your duck on your head and join me in dragon pose. Good, holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you keep the duck here, or your object, and change your knees without the object falling off? Good, holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good job. Okay, this time we're going to move into that boat pose. Okay, but this time we're going to balance our object on our knees. So for level 1, let's start with it here. Okay, come up when you're ready. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, we're still going to put it on our knees, but we're going to come up for level 2 boat. Okay? So see if you can get your duck in position, or maybe you get your position first, then put your object on, and holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Oof! I don't know about you, I started to feel a little bit wobbly there. I didn't know if my duck was going to last. Hopefully yours did. Okay, this time we're going to move on to our twisted dragon. And again, we're going to use our knee out in front of us while we're twisting. Okay? So when you're ready, place your object on that knee out in front. And join me in our twisted dragon on this side first, holding it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax, but swap knees. Let's see if our object can stay still on the other side. Holding it here, good, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Excellent. Okay. So our last pose we're going to be using our object to balance is bridge. So when you're ready, come on down onto your backs, and this time for bridge pose, I want you to place your object on your stomachs. And I want you to see if you can raise that stomach and your bottom and your pelvis without the object rolling off. Good. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Excellent. Good job, guys. Okay. Fantastic. So hopefully you were really working hard today at balancing and keeping that object still. I would love to see any photos you've got of your objects and your balancing. Okay, well done guys. Now when you're ready and you've got some colouring, so you might need to pause me while you go and get some. When you're ready though, I'd like you to come on down to your mats. And remember, for mindful colouring, you can be wherever you feel comfortable colouring. So you might be sat up colouring, you might be lying down, okay? And remember what we've talked about with mindfulness. When we talk about mindfulness, we're thinking about being present in this moment now. So we're trying to focus our brain and our thoughts on what's happening right now. So we're trying not to think about what happened earlier in the day or yesterday or what might happen later or tomorrow. We're trying to just enjoy this moment now. So all I want you to think about is what you're colouring in and what colour you might choose and how the pencil moves across the paper or the pen, how it feels. Can you hear colouring? Okay, so when you're ready, come on down into a comfortable position. I'm going to choose my tummy to colour today. And I've got my mindfulness colouring book, which you can find in shops and online. So it's a whole book of colouring. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. You don't have to, you can keep going. And remember, when we do our mindfulness colouring practice, it's not about how much you get coloured in, it's about the process of colouring and enjoying that moment and just enjoying the colouring in. I only got a very small section of my page coloured in, but that doesn't matter, because what was important and what matters is that when I was doing that colouring, all I was thinking about in that moment was, what colour should I choose for this flower? I could hear the pencil moving across the page. I could see lots of different colours starting to appear, and I was enjoying that moment, and it made me feel peaceful and calm and relaxed colouring in. Okay, so I'm going to come back down onto my mat just to wish you a namaste and say thank you so much for joining us this week for our session. Now, as we approach the summer holidays in July, we've got 4 more sessions of Starshine Yoga Online left. Now, if you've really enjoyed our yoga sessions, and maybe you already come to some of our sessions in our classes, we will be back in schools and in community centres hopefully in September. So look out for our information. You can email me or check our social media channels. You can access these lessons and sessions on YouTube whenever you want, so they are there available all the time for you now. And I'm going to give you one more challenge today, because I want you to practice over the next few weeks before we finish for the summer holidays. I want you to practice our Starshine Yoga pose. And I want you, when you've practiced it and you think you're doing it the best you can do, I want you to send me a picture of yourself doing it. So for our Starshine Yoga pose, it's a little bit like our side plank. Okay, so we come onto our sides because we're trying to make our bodies look like a star. And we lift up our body and we're balancing on one arm. Our other arm is coming up straight, and then one of our legs is lifted off the mat, and we're trying to make a star shape with our bodies. So I want you to practice that over the next few weeks before we finish with the summer holidays, and send me in your Starshine Yoga pose. Okay, well done guys. Big round of applause for you. Thank you so much for joining in, and I shall see you next week. Bye everyone.